All right, as we get ready for Canada Day, can you believe it's already next weekend? We'll be celebrating Canada Day. Of course, we have to talk about Canadian wine, kind of where we've been, where we're going, and I can't think of a better person to talk about this than our guest tonight on the Sunday Sipper Club. My name is Natalie McLean. I'm the editor of Canada's largest wine review site at nataliemclean.com. And we gather here on Facebook Live, on YouTube live stream, and Twitter via Periscope every Sunday at 6 p.m. Toronto, New York time to talk to the most interesting people in the world of wine. Now, before I introduce my guest fully, I absolutely love to hear from you first. Where are you logging in from? Your city, your state, your province? Where are you this evening? You might be on the road okay, and Francis is here from Ottawa. Debbie San Martino is here. I'm not sure where are you from, Debbie? Anne is here from Halifax. Hello, Anne. Nice to see you again as well. Lori Kilmartin is here from Ottawa. So yes, just post. Where are you logging in from? And before we kickstart this, as you know, at the end of every conversation that we have here, I announce the winner of last week's contest based on those who share the video and who make a comment, especially. Let your friends and family know, your followers, that we're live here. They might like to watch it either live with us right now, as Heather is in Guelph, or they can catch the replay. But nonetheless, if you do share the video tonight, we have a special prize from our guest that I will let you know as soon as I introduce him. But if you shared last week's video, then that's a signed copy of John Schreiner's book, Icon, The Best Wines from BC's Flagship Wineries. All right, so our guest this evening has been experienced 31 vintages in Niagara. He has seen so much through these decades in terms of how the Ontario wine industry has changed through his own winery and kind of a vision for where Ontario and Canada more broadly is going in terms of the wine industry. So I think it's really appropriate that we chat with him tonight. And I want to say hello. Mike Welling has joined us in the Toronto area. Okay, so, and what's really special as well is that our guest's winery was just named Canadian Winery of the Year by the most prestigious wine competition in the world. It's the International Wine and Spirits Competition that's held in London, England every year. So we're going to talk to him about that and a whole bunch of other things. I'm going to learn a lot tonight. So if you'll help me welcome him, his name is Klaus Reif, and he joins me live now from Niagara. Hello, Klaus.
Hi Natalie, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Well, thank you
Uh,
for having me.
All right, good. And folks, keep posting in the comments. I'll keep watching. I'm going to assume all is good. Knock on wood with the tech gods tonight for audio visual for both of us. All right, Klaus, let's jump into this. Now, um, you have had such a long history, rich history in Niagara. Maybe to put things in context, you kind of see things in terms of the four periods or stages of winemaking in Ontario. How would you characterize those?
Well, this is only my personal opinion,
Sure,
okay?
absolutely.
Obviously, okay.
Yes.
There are no official four phases, but in my eyes, we have four phases. I would say phase number one was basically when Inniskin was founded, including, I mean, obviously Carl Kaiser, Don Giraldo, and other icons of the industry like Paul Bast, including my uncle Ewald Reif. So they were winemakers. They were wine lovers and winemakers. And they started a winery because they thought and they did produce amazing wines. That was the beginning, phase number one, the pioneers. Then the second phase came in where people thought, hey, those guys make good wines. Let's start a winery. Then that was called phase number two, the second generation of wineries. They actually were not opened by winemakers, they're more opened by people who saw a business opportunity and actually hired a winemaker. So see it as phase number two. Third phase, I saw that all of a sudden wine was so in Niagara or in Ontario in general. In the old days, people had a racehorse. Now someone had, hey, I want to have a winery. So now the third phase came in, basically the trophy wineries. The people came in, bought wineries because they wanted to own a winery. And they were not even involved in the daily operation of it. But that was the exciting part, which I like very much. It's actually the fourth part, which gives me all hope and everything for the future is young people once again. Sometimes second generation of pioneers come into the wine industry now. Young people with an absolute passion and a passion for winemaking. And it's very invigorating. I love it. Young people, in the 20s, 30s, entering the industry right now. And they do it once again, less for the money, less for the fortune or for the they just do it because they love wine and they want to create the best wines possible. And I love to see those young people. This is my
Fantastic.
this is my first phase basically, and I'm very proud of those young people.
That's great. Great way to sum it up, Klaus. And what do you think the young people are doing in terms of changing the wine industry with their influence? Are they coming from stages from around the world, like work terms from around the world, and bringing in that kind of perspective?
They do actually. I mean, some are locally here, obviously local boys and girls.
Hmm.
If I can make them this way, and they travel the world. They have other experiences from different wine growing regions in the world. They come in, they bring their own ideas. Some ideas are amazing. Some ideas they say, well, let's try it. But I mean, we did the same thing when I started out and when I was young. We did our little mistakes. We experimented with different wines. And now the new generation does the same thing. But they just have a better pace than what we had in the old days. Because by now, wine is accepted. Ontario wine is accepted. People like Ontario wine. What we had to face in the old days was nobody wanted to drink Ontario wine. There's a big, bad, negative image. But now
Right.
we are in a positive image cycle, so it's actually easier to bring new products out.
Absolutely. Beverly's asking, is that a German accent? Beverly in California, and she's got a bunch of hearts, so you can
See,
confirm that, yes?
see, Beverly, I thought I lost my accent, but I guess I didn't. No, it is a German accent. It's from the southwestern part of Germany, actually. My family winery is still there.
Yes.
And yeah, actually, my parents, they closed down the winery, but we still have vineyards there. It's
Nice.
near Heidelberg in the Rhine Valley. Beautiful area.
Heidelberg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet. Beautiful. Kathy is here and enjoying some stars. I'm assuming you mean bubbly, Kathy. Where are you logging in from? Lori Sweet is here. Lori, I should know by now because you're an active participant. Where are you logging in from? Darren Verre is here, checking in from North Bay. Just got back from Niagara earlier this week, he says, so this is a very timely interview. Glad we could
Nice.
help, Darren. Paul and Patty are here from Virginia, although they're at the ZinFest in California, San Francisco, and we'll watch the replay. Gotcha. Thanks for
Awesome.
checking in, guys. All right. So, yes, if you're just joining us, we are here with Klaus Reif from Niagara's Winery, one of the pioneer wines and wineries and winemakers. He's now the owner. There's a winemaker with him. But he's got so much rich history to share with us tonight and kind of the vision of where we're going with Ontario wine, especially, I think, very timely as we lead up to Canada Day next weekend. So, Klaus, maybe share another story with us. You were at the Ottawa Wine Show and something happened to you that you described as a game changer.
It was a game changer for me.
Okay, all right.
Like I arrived here back in 1987, and I had a tough time selling Ontario wine. I had actually a tough time to convince customers to taste our wines. And I was actually at Ottawa Wine, I think it was called the Wine Food Show, and we had the first show booth right when people walked in. Gentleman walked up to me and said, "Oh, can I taste your wines?" I said, "Sure, absolutely." I gave him a glass of Chardonnay, and he said, "Oh, it's an amazing wine." And I said, "Oh, where are you from?" And I said, "Well, guess." And he said, "Well, your accent, obviously, must be German." But I said, "No, I mean, I didn't know they make Chardonnay in Germany." I said, "No, it's a Canadian wine." You know what? And he just kind of looked at me and said, "Oh my, I can't believe it. I never ever drink Ontario wine because they're so bad. And here I drink the Chardonnay and I'm so positively surprised." The lesson I learned was actually, it's not the product which which is a problem. It is actually the negative image. with Ontario wine.
Yeah.
But
The
remember
perception. Yeah.
the
Back
perception.
then. Yeah, absolutely.
But
Yeah.
remember, that was 31 years ago. It
31.
changed now. It
Absolutely.
did change now. I mean, 31 years ago, when I had 5 customers in my retail store, I thought, hey, we are rocking, you know. Now we welcome on a yearly basis about 300,000 people.
Oh, wow.
It is
Wow.
incredible.
300,000 people visit the Niagara wine region every year now.
No, visit my winery,
Your winery, just your winery, 300,000 people.
300,000
That is
people.
amazing. Oh my gosh.
I know
That's
it is.
fantastic.
If you look back, you know, where we came from, where
Yeah.
we are now, I mean, what a change, what a difference.
Yeah.
It is totally incredible. Actually, even in my wildest dreams, I did not imagine, you know, we come so far in a relative short period of time.
Right.
Remember, look to other wine countries in the world. I mean, they're working for 2, 3, 4, 500 years, 1,000 years in the winemaking process. And on the marketing side, I mean, we achieved this basically in less than 40 years.
Wow. Wow, that's fantastic. Wow. And so at the winery, when they visit Reif, and I am saying that correctly, Reif, not Reef, because it's an EI, Reif, like have a good life with Reif, right?
Right?
It's how I remember it. So you have at the winery some food and cheese tastings and some different things. I mean, people can certainly go into the tasting room, but what else is in there that they can do?
What we have at the wine, obviously, when you arrive, I mean, you get welcomed. You know, we have a regular tasting bar in the front. We have a sensory tasting bar in the back where you can, we have basically different meats with wine, so different cheeses with wine. Sometimes we have chocolate with wine. So you can sit down, do a structured tasting. We offer tours on a daily basis at the winery. So we have guides who show you how wine is made, how it's and what is special to our location and to Ontario wine. We also have in the summertime an outdoor kitchen. So we offer locally made pizzas, you know, locally made sausages and other food items. And you can sit down, have a glass of wine and enjoy the food and the atmosphere. But also what is for me and our whole team very important is everybody who comes here should walk away with some knowledge. This always was one of my things. I want to have the people who come or customers who come to the winery to learn something. I want everybody walk out, hey, I learned something today. And hopefully they come back because they want to have this thirst for more wine and for more knowledge.
That's great. Awesome. Susan Otis is in Ottawa and she's enjoying some Niagara wine this evening. She doesn't have Klaus, or sorry, Reif. Klaus. She doesn't have Klaus in your glass. She doesn't have Reif in her glass. She says she apologizes, but I'm sure you're going to fix that, Susan. But she is drinking Niagara wine tonight. Beverly Aslason. Wow, amazing. Elaine Peters says the numbers across the region are way up. And Elaine says, is here from Niagara on the lake. Hello, Klaus.
Say hi to Elaine. Hi, Elaine.
Hello. Yeah.
I know her.
Awesome. Lori Sweets in Kingston. All right. And Debbie San Martino Gare is logging in from the Okanagan Valley. Love it. That's great, guys. Okay, so if you're just joining us, as I say, we're here with Klaus Reif in Niagara. We're talking about Canadian wine, especially as we lead up to Canada Day. And if you're enjoying this conversation, please take a moment to share it. And even better, tell your friends and followers why you're enjoying this. And of course, you could win a couple of bottles of Reif wine. Now, we had talked about what's the prize? It's that Vinea. You've got that with you.
Yes,
Vinea.
I do. Actually, the price is going to be a bottle of this one here.
It's beautiful.
Vinea.
How do you say it? Vinea.
Vinea, yes.
Okay. And
Absolutely
it's,
correct.
did you say it's Latin? Is it a
Latin
Latin
for,
term?
yeah, it's Latin for grape wine. The blend
Okay.
itself, yeah.
And is it a spirit or what is it technically?
Actually, well, it is a liqueur. So it has
Liqueur.
20% alcohol
Okay.
and it's based on the Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
And, for the longest time, cocktails were kind of not cherished too much.
Okay.
But in the last few years, cocktails are in again.
Yep.
And
Cocktails,
so,
definitely. Absolutely.
and so kind of, I mean, this product actually was planned for 20 years.
Really?
I made my first prototype 20 years ago of this one.
Oh my goodness.
And I got kind of busy and other things happened in my life. So I started 2 years ago again to work on it. And we just released it about 6 weeks ago.
That's awesome. Hold it
Yeah.
really close up to the camera if you would, Klaus. Yes,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
beautiful bottle. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think you
yeah.
were going to, yeah. So it's a grape-based liqueur, and just thought we would have some fun tonight, apart from the usual wine tasting, of making
Yeah,
a Canada Day special cocktail. So
we
how are you
do.
going to make that? What are you going to
Okay.
put into this?
Well, we can do different drinks with our vinea. We can do vinea spritz. We can do a Cosmo.
Okay.
But tonight here, I'm gonna do a Royale, a vinea Royale. So
Ah,
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open here a bottle of Chardonnay sparkling wine.
okay.
Right here.
Yes, there you go. Got
That's what
it.
we're gonna have.
Sparkling wine. So instead of Kir Royale, we're Vinea Kir Royale. So we've got
Uh,
instead of
that-
Cassis, the Cabernet-based liqueur. Let's see how
okay.
this goes.
And now we talked earlier about it. I hope it doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm shrinking.
I
How'd it
got
go?
it.
Oh,
Can you
nice.
hear it?
Yes, it's
I
good.
got it.
It's
Oh,
good. Oh, is it fizzing a bit?
a little bit.
You're cool as a cucumber there. Kathy says Vinea is my new favorite.
All under control. Not to worry. No,
Yeah.
nobody got injured.
No, no, it's all good, including the office.
Well, the
Uh,
carpet has a little bit of a stain now.
yeah.
Okay, let's
Okay.
do this.
So you're pouring in the sparkling wine first, your
Yeah.
Chardonnay-based sparkling wine.
And I do about 4 ounces. I mean, 4 to 5 ounces, I would
Four to
say.
5 ounces.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
hard to say, but it's actually a bit warm. That's the problem with my sparkling wine.
That's okay. We can't tell on camera.
No, you can't tell it.
Alan
Put this on
Cameron
the
from
wall.
Ottawa is asking about the name of the winery. It's Reif. It's
It
Reif,
is.
folks. Yes.
Right, yeah.
Reif.
Always remember, Reif Riesling.
Yes, that's true. And Riedel glassware. It's that combination,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Reif,
absolutely.
Riesling. Okay.
Yeah, that's
There you
what I
go.
say. You know,
Heather.
if a customer comes and wants to have a Reif Riesling, it's okay too.
Okay. Hello, Heather Proctor. Okay. Awesome,
Okay,
guys. So now you're putting in how much of the Vinea?
about an ounce.
An ounce. Okay.
You gotta put an ounce in here. You can see
Okay. Gotcha.
how beautiful the color is.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the right amount. And the,
Lovely.
and the nice part is, even if you don't have to drink the whole bottle.
No.
Vinegar can last up to at least 8 to 12 weeks,
Okay.
with a half full bottle, and lifespan in a closed bottle is about 15 years.
Oh, nice. Wow.
It
15
does have
years.
about as a 20% alcohol,
Okay. So like a
and so
port
it
level.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, what we use here is a triple distilled brandy. So we're
Okay.
talking a really high quality brandy.
Mm-hmm.
As a base, we use some obviously Cabernet Sauvignon,
Okay.
and flavor pictures is just it smells very good.
Yeah. You could
Oh,
garnish that with
berries.
berries and dark berries, and you could
Yeah.
garnish it with a strawberry, you were saying.
Yes, no, Miss Strawberry, I don't have one. I'm so
That's
sorry.
okay. Oh, no, that's okay. We've got the
I,
basic idea. 4 parts bubbly, 1 part
yeah,
Vinea, and then you're good to go with a very patriotic drink. I mean, it's like your red, white, and booze, I guess.
absolutely. I know you try to get one at the LCBO, but it's not out yet so
Not
far.
yet. Yeah. Do you know when it's coming out? The
No, we
Vinea?
don't know yet. We
Okay.
put an application in,
Yep.
obviously, but it takes time. Like I said, the product was just ready 6, 7 weeks ago,
Yep.
and so it's brand new.
Brand
So put
new.
everything in maybe in springtime next year, maybe
Yeah.
earlier. I don't
No
know.
worries. Do you sell it directly from the winery?
Yes, we do, yeah.
Okay. There.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
So we have some restaurants who use it already.
Okay.
Very, very successful. Retail store is doing very well. And actually, I had my first order out of China for it.
Oh, really? Out of
Yeah,
China? That's
I know.
amazing.
My first
Congrats.
order.
Oh, I bet you.
780 bottles. That's
Holy
good.
smokes.
That's
That's
not bad at all,
fantastic.
for a little product, yeah.
Wow.
I
And
have
well,
it now.
red's a lucky color, I think, too.
Hmm.
Like I would think they would because the Chinese, I think, are very good consumers of our ice wine, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean,
Yes.
I've traveled there quite a few times now,
Yeah.
and they love sweeter products. They love the ice wine.
Sure. So this has got to be a hit, like especially
Yeah,
with the nice color, the beautiful ruby tones in it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
No, like you said, red and gold, the colors, what you
Ah,
like.
yes. Yeah,
And
absolutely.
it's the red product. Even on the label, you see the gold, you see
Yes.
on the
Very
side.
nice. It gives a luxurious feel to it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you know this person, but Ronald Reif says hello.
Oh, hey, Ronald, how are you?
There you go. Elaine Peters says, well, time for my dinner. Take care all. Well, good, Elaine. You've got to watch the replay of this video for the rest of the story that we'll get to in a moment. Okay, so that's the Vinea, but I also have the Riesling here that won the International Wine and Spirits competition trophy for Canadian Wine Producer of the Year. Like this is the Oscars of the wine world in terms of competitions. And in the most recent one, you were named Canadian Wine Producer of the Year. That's pretty amazing.
Actually, yeah. Actually, the, the wine we won,
Yep.
Canadian Winery of the Year, Canadian
Yep.
Wine Producer of the Year, but the trophy was won actually by our Vidal Ice wine.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
the trophy was won for best dessert wine basically in the world with our Vidal
Yes.
Ice wine. And
Awesome.
overall, the winery won basically best Canadian wine producer. Very proud.
Overall. Yeah.
Was an amazing event.
Was
Loved it.
it? In
Obviously,
London,
in
England,
London,
right?
England, at the Guildhall, we went there. We had a table of 10. I
Wow.
mentioned to you earlier, my wife is from London, so my family
Yes.
was there from London. My father-in-law, sister-in-law, and we just had a hoot. It's all black tie, like the Oscars. Honestly,
Yes, yeah.
it
The
was
Oscars
really,
for
really, really
wine.
nice. Yeah, about
That's
500
fantastic.
people. That was really cool.
And it's awesome when Canadian wines, get this international recognition from competitions that have existed for years and years and years. I mean, it just
Yeah,
really is a great acknowledgement of what you've done.
yeah,
So let's taste what you've done here. And you're now. I know you were the winemaker for many years, and you still participate actively in the
yes.
winemaking process. But you've also got a full-time winemaker on board. What's his name? Remind me.
His name is Roberto Di Domenico,
Okay.
and actually Roberto is with us since 30 years. I came in 87.
Okay. Wow.
I hired Roberto as a student in 88, and he came back to me full time after university in 89.
My goodness.
And so far, I mean, he's my best buddy. He's our winemaker, and it's just an amazing, amazing partnership and relationship we have in this company here.
That's
And
fantastic.
I honestly have to say, the company wouldn't be where we are without Roberto.
Really, that's wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you have a lot of long-term relationships, Klaus, that speak well to your leadership because Andrea Kaiser also works with you,
Yeah,
and her father was Carl Kaiser. She's been there a long time, I think, at the
yeah.
winery.
He's now, I think, it's on her 15th year.
That's fantastic. That
Yeah.
that really is a tribute. This Riesling is the bomb, I must say.
No, love
It's
it. I mean,
so
it's
beautiful.
easy. It's my go-to wine. If
Is it? Yeah.
I'm in my office, I need a sip of wine, which you do sometimes need, to calm down.
As you will.
So that's my go-to wine,
It's
our
beautiful.
Riesling.
So
It has,
juicy, so
yeah,
savory, and yet
it has a right
I don't know if
acidity,
the top. Yeah, it does.
It
Just
gets
enough, not too
yeah,
much. Yeah.
absolutely. Touch of sweetness, just to
Yeah.
level everything out, to balance it. Because
Mm-hmm.
good wine is, in my opinion, has to have the right balance, the
Yeah.
harmony.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
how I describe my wine, or how I
Yes.
try to make wine. It's
Yeah.
like I always compare like a musician, an orchestra.
Right.
You have an amazing piano player.
Yeah.
You have an amazing trumpet player or a drum player. But if they're out of tune, it sounds horrible. And
Right.
that's what I try to accomplish with the wines, to bring
Abs-
all elements together to play in harmony.
yeah.
And that's
Absolutely. That's a great analogy, Klaus, because even if they're in tune, but if the piano is dominating the whole orchestra, it's not as beautiful as it could be with all the elements in harmony and you don't go, "Oh, there's that trombone again." I mean, everything has to work together so that there's this greater sense of the whole or the piece of music or the wine than you would get with just a solo by
yeah,
one instrument.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, classic example is, for many years, could have bought Chardonnays which are really over oaked. They were overpowered by oak, Yes, it tastes tons of oak, but you lost other components. In
Right.
the last 5 to 10 years, I mean, the oak component it is much less now
Yes.
worldwide than it used to be because people realize the wine is a balance.
Absolutely. All right, folks. So we are here with Klaus Reif of Reif Winery and talking about Canadian wines here. We've talked about a cocktail that you can make and go back to the replay if you missed that. The Riesling, of course, would be beautiful. And so let's talk about Ontario wines more generally then, Klaus. Like, where do you see the industry going? Say in the next 5 years, what are going to be the important new developments that we'll be seeing?
Um, I believe, the, as I mentioned before, it's a fourth phase what we have here right now, and we have young people coming in. They're going to bring a lot of innovation into our industry. They're going to bring new ideas in our industry, new concepts, and you're going to see really an uptick in quality and the selection of wines.
Hmm.
That's how I see it. That if that wouldn't be, I would be almost like a bit discouraged for our industry. But I really see, focus on quality, not quantity, and focus more on 100% Ontario wines, VQA wines, and hopefully a bit less on cellared in Canada wines.
Hmm.
And I hope this confusion in outside customers disappear with this time. So
Hmm.
I'm looking really forward to it to see great great wines coming out from a lot of young people.
Awesome. And and what do you think might be the greatest challenges or threats to the Ontario wine industry? What is it that, I don't know, could be on the horizon that you kind of as a group have to work together to solve or whatever?
It is, I mean, especially now we have a new government here in Ontario.
Hmm.
So we don't know what's really going to happen down the road. Are we going to have more wines in grocery stores? Are we going to have more wines in corner stores?
Hmm.
I'm a little bit hesitant to support it uh, because if you buy wines in grocery stores, those buyers, they're going to buy wines, at the lowest cost. You're going to get $8 to $10 uh, wine.
Hmm.
And so there's not nothing, we as Ontario producers, let's put the high-end producers want to be part of. So that might be a challenge going down the road, that our marketplace is going to be eroded by cheaper wines as a challenge. But again, that's up to government regulations, nothing we can do. I mean, from other points, I don't see a big threat somehow. I mean, we're talking about North American Free Trade Agreement coming to an end. Who knows what? I don't think it's going to be an impact in our industry. Uh, we get more and more interest in our wines for exporting. So I see a push, of our wines getting all over the world, even more than we are right now. But I really can't see right now a major threat to our industry.
Okay.
It's a
All
good
right.
thing. I'm
Yeah.
happy
No,
about it.
that's
I'm
great.
very positive. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
Awesome.
and everybody who knows me knows that I'm kind of a worst case scenario guy.
Are you?
Oh, I am
This is
totally.
very optimistic of you then.
Yeah.
That's great. And I mean, you probably are aware that the Canadian Vintners Association has just started their campaign to free my grapes. What's your feeling on that? And that specifically for anybody who is not aware is a new campaign so that as Canadians, we should be able to buy Canadian wines from any province. Right now, we are limited due to interprovincial trade barriers. Are you supportive of their campaign so that anybody, any Canadian, could buy your wines across the country?
Oh, obviously, I'm 100% supportive, not
Okay.
only for myself, but also for the freedom, of movement of products in Canada. I mean,
Right.
after all, we are one country. I'm Canadian, okay, even Canadian with a German accent, but I am Canadian. I'm very proud of this country. But you know what? Sometimes we have to act as one Canada. And in this case, we do not act as one Canada. We act like we are separate provinces and territories. I mean,
Hmm.
I found it actually ridiculous, so I cannot ship wine
Yeah.
to a different province. I mean, I have customers from BC, from other provinces, obviously, Alberta, say, hey, can you send me a case of wine? And I have to say, no, sorry, I can't do it.
Right. Wow.
So, I mean, it is kind of being one country and in one way, and actually, no, we are not really one country. It's kind of disappointing. But the
Hmm.
federal government actually ruled that we should have a free trade. But now it's up to provinces to say, okay, yes, we can do it. I believe actually
Right.
BC allows it now to have wine shipped to BC, but Ontario didn't allow it yet.
Okay. I'm sure it must surely come because 9 out of 10 Canadians, I'm told, by the Canadian Vintners Association, support free trade within our own country for our own wines. And it's as you know, Klaus, it's the highest agricultural value add product we make. So that means it adds so much to the economy, in terms of profits, spin off jobs, and everything. And for me, like I think about a dinner party. What's the only agricultural product that I put on my table that still has the label on it? It's not the beef, it's not the potatoes, it's the wine. If I'm
Absolutely.
putting a bottle on it, it's that value add that it just is crazy not to be able to order and ship different
Yeah.
wines.
If you see, an imported wine creates about $1 economic impact. I might be wrong a few cents here, but one
Yep.
dollar economic impact in Ontario in this case, and the domestic product like the Riesling, which I said, is producing about $12 of economic
Wow.
impact.
12 times the economic value
It
for
is quite,
domestic wine.
yeah, it's quite amazing. I
It's
mean, you got
amazing.
to think about the farm community, the suppliers,
Yep.
our employees, from
Absolutely.
distribution, from delivery to
Yep.
every aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. And the spin-off industries, I mean, I love that the Niagara region and other regions from BC to Picton to Nova Scotia, everywhere, even the eastern townships in Quebec and so on, they have all of these other things that are going on, like restaurants and inns and tourism and the gastro-tourism aspect of this. It really promotes all of that. And there's, of course, there's the go local movement,
Yeah,
but also, like, when we buy local, we're not, we're making our environmental footprint smaller. I mean, there's not as much shipping going on. And I mean, there's
absolutely.
just so many reasons,
Yeah,
that you
it
can
is a
find.
much lower carbon footprint we generate here. But also, if we go back now, because like you mentioned, I started 31 years ago,
Yeah.
there was no supplier of tanks or pumps or any equipment. I mean, everything we had to purchase, we purchased outside the country. I mean, there was those times we didn't have like a college, we had an amazing program. We didn't have proper university with a copy program. So if we had to hire a winemaker, we had to go outside the country to get a
Right.
winemaker. But now we have our local college and university that teach young people. Now we can sort our own people. I mean, all this works hand in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And Francis is enjoying a Reif Pinot Noir right now. It's a great pairing with our salmon dinner,
Yeah,
having a
awesome.
having a second glass for dessert. Rochelle O'Connor is here in Ottawa. This is a real treat. I really enjoy these beautiful wines. That's awesome. Francis has also shared the video, and I wanted to also say thank you to the other folks who are sharing here. Mike Welling has shared it. Thank you. Voyage Writers. Hey, and they're talking about our video. Voyage Writers, let us know where you're logging in from. And do you write about wine or travel? Would love to know. Okay, so I would love to know, just from your experience, Klaus, personally, kind of what's been your favorite moment in your career so far? Like, what has been the moment that has stood out for you that, you just, it's memorable?
You know, I think, for me, going back, one of my most memorable moments was actually again in London, England. And you mentioned we won the award in 2017. I don't mention it to show off, but we won the same award in 2002.
Ah,
However, but that's not what I'm saying it. And in London Guildhall, we had about again 500 people for dinner, and they chose our ice wine as a dessert wine. So 500 winemakers and people in wine industry tasted our ice wine. And I was there just on my own, one person. I was there on my own. I didn't know anyone, I was a small guy out of Ontario and Niagara on the Lake, and felt a little bit lost, to be honest. And all of a sudden, this gentleman stood up and walked towards me and came to me and said, "You know what? I just tasted your ice wine. Congratulations. It was an amazing wine. Or it is an amazing wine." And it was nobody else than Robert Mondavi himself.
oh,
I
wow.
mean, I mean, if a,
That's fantastic.
It's, I mean, if you think about it, here we are, in a small wine community in Niagara on Lake, Ontario, and hardly known all over the world. I'm a nobody over there, obviously. And here, a gentleman like Robert Mondavi, not that I approached him and asked him about the wine. He actually stood up and approached me to
Right.
congratulate me. I mean, those moments you do not forget in your life.
Oh,
Absolutely.
it's
That's one of those
fantastic.
moments, you cherish all your life, and say, hey,
Yeah,
wow. It's almost
absolutely.
like, I used to be 5'10". I'm 6'4". I grew a little bit.
That's great. Well, he's such a pioneer and a leader, and of course he's
Yeah,
passed away. But that you will remember that forever, I'm sure.
absolutely.
That
No question about
conversation.
it.
Lee Cheray has joined us from Northern Ontario, and Rochelle says, "I totally agree." Hello, Lise. Hello, Jen Havers. Rochelle, I totally agree. We should be able to buy the amazing wines that are being created from coast to coast, especially when cooking dinner and pairing wine and food. We can buy a case shipped direct, of course, but it isn't the same for me anyway. I love shopping for wine as much as food. Absolutely. No, that's a nice comment, Rochelle.
Yeah.
So if you could have a bottle of wine, Klaus, with
Hmm.
anyone, living or dead, apart from relatives, who would that be? Who would you love to share a wine with, and kind of tell us who it is and maybe why?
You know, it has to do probably with my second passion of my life.
Okay.
It's actually my cars. I love cars. So I would love to have dinner and share a bottle of wine with Paul Newman. Because,
Okay.
because I always had a dream with my bucket list, in my once I retire, kind of, or semi-retire, or I have time to go out there and race cars. And I like to know because he did the same thing in his older age or close to retirement. He started racing cars, very successful.
Huh. I didn't
And
know
just like,
that.
yeah, so I just really like to talk to him, and to see, how he did it, And since he makes his okay salad dressing nothing to do with wine, but he must be in food as well somehow. I believe, I don't know, he might be in food, he might be in wine. I just want to sit down with him with a bottle of wine, talk to him about his life, how he changed his life, and how he ended up to be a race car driver. Because I want to be one.
Ah, okay, there we go. Now we know. Well, he certainly was into food somehow because he had Newman's dressing. I mean, he still has the
Absolutely.
dressing. But what's your favorite car of that you own or that you'd like to own? Passion for cars. So,
Yeah, my favorite car right now I own actually, I would say it's a 1977 Datsun 280
Datsun?
Datsun, yeah. Most
Okay.
people don't even know it's a Datsun anymore because now they're called Nissan.
Okay.
And it's actually my favorite car. I don't drive it much. It is in British racing green. It is an amazing car. Sounds awesome. By all means, no modern technology. So no USB, no Bluetooth, no such thing. But I just love the design of this car. 1977
Wow.
Datsun 280.
Oh my goodness, that's lovely. Um, all right. So Lise Cheray says it's finally nice in northern Ontario. I'm drinking an off-dry Riesling. In my opinion, Niagara Riesling lands in the great category with Alsace in Germany. Oh, Lori Kilmartin from Ottawa is asking, what is Claus's favorite wine and food pairing? Favorite or weirdest, whatever you want to tell
No,
us. Yeah.
favorite is very simple for me. I love
Yes.
filet mignon with peppercorn sauce
Yes.
and a nice Cabernet Sauvignon. Or
Okay.
mostly Cabernet Sauvignon with a filet mignon peppercorn sauce. And actually, my wife Eva, she makes one, and it's deadly. I love it.
Ooh, that sounds great. And do
Yeah.
you have something that you love to pair with the Riesling, or do you just like the Riesling on its own?
No, Riesling, I like it on its own, but most food, if I have chicken or if I have even a lighter pasta, which is not a red pasta, I
Right.
have my Riesling with it. Yeah, chicken,
Nice.
or I'm German baker. If I have a schnitzel, obviously, I gotta have my
Yes,
Riesling.
that would be good, traditional.
Yeah.
Mike Welling says the 2807 or oh 07 was a great car. So you've got a friend who loves cars here as much as you do, I think, because I'm
Yeah.
probably not knowing what he's saying with the car make
Yeah,
and
yeah.
model. Kathy says, Claus, do you have a favorite wine? Well, you said the Riesling, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's my go-to wine on a daily
Okay.
basis, my
Yep.
Riesling. But like I said, I like the cup soft and the Meritic kind of equally
Right.
on the red side. I
Okay.
mean, another food pairing I love is smoked salmon, and just on a nice white bread, some cream cheese, smoked salmon, and the Chardonnay reserve. I get a little bit of the oakiness in it, a little bit of buttery. That's
Nice.
another one of my favorites. Which I could just sit there, not for dinner, just sipping and every bite to eat.
Nice. Lise likes Riesling with chicken wings. There you go. Um, and so, just a couple questions because the time is going quickly here, Klaus. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to your 30-year-old self? If you could look back and advise yourself, what piece of advice would you give to you?
From the business sense,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I should have watched more the marketing side of my business.
Okay.
I was too concentrated on a winemaking perspective. And
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you, kind of my business suffered from it. Because in North America, marketing, I was educated back in Europe. So marketing was only a very minor side note in my education, and it's way more important here in North America.
Interesting.
So yeah, so I would say yeah, I should have paid more attention to marketing.
Hmm.
Just
Yeah.
from a business perspective, yeah, that's kind of
Right.
it will be 30 years old, or even may talk now to young people, say, you know what, make sure you have everything in a row from your packaging, your marketing, now you obviously social media, get the whole packaging in order, your website, so you send a proper message out there.
Absolutely.
I always kind of believe, you know what, if I make good wines, people are gonna come
Ah,
automatically.
right. They'll
Yes,
just find you. You
but
build it, they will come. Yeah.
but it's not really true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is true to a certain extent, okay?
Right.
No question about it, because once you have a customer, they get a repeat customer, but it's very hard to get new people tasting your wine if you don't have your marketing machine behind it.
Yeah. This is so like the tech industry where I was for a number of years, Klaus. Like the tech guys and gals get so caught up in, oh, we just make the perfect software and it's gonna go viral. It's gonna sell itself. It's like, not so much.
Yeah, no, it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of good wisdom there. Um, and do you have a favorite wine gadget that you like to use, or pretty standard? What do you like
No,
to?
you know what? We have a kind of a cool aerator we use here at the winery.
A narrator. Okay,
Yeah, actually, I don't have one here, otherwise I would
that's
show
okay.
you. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
But
okay.
it actually is made in Denmark,
Mm-hmm.
and it is for younger red wines. You put it in. Honestly, you have if you pour your wine normally,
Yeah.
it's okay. But if you pour it through the aerator in a matter of let's say 2 minutes, the wine ages about 2 3 years, and it's so much opener, so much more approachable. So I'm
Uh,
really big fan of the aerator. This is my single most important tool.
okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
but you got
And
to be
just
careful too. Sorry.
yes, go ahead.
Because some people believe, in an aerator, or it's also aerator kind of slash decanter,
Yeah.
and they use it on old wines, which is
Uh,
sometimes very, very dangerous.
right. They can fall
So,
apart with
the,
that amount of
yeah,
exposure. Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
best example was, we one day, as a group of winemakers with old wines, and we opened the 1952 Pinot Noir,
Oh, wow.
and we had it in a glass, we tasted, and it was just totally amazing. We put the glass down, went back, but not less than 5 minutes later, the wine was gone. I mean,
Oh.
5 minutes. So
Ah.
if I would have used a decanter
Right.
or an aerator on this wine,
Right.
I would be totally would have destroyed the wine. So I just
Right.
want to caution the listeners, don't be over anxious to use decanters on older wines or aerators, because you can destroy your wine. You got to really, before you use a decanter, know your wine. Know if you
Absolutely.
can do it or
That's
not.
true. That's great advice. And I'll just circle back to the marketing theme here because Mike Welling has asked. We marketers love revelations about the virtues of effective branding and marketing that Klaus has discovered. But you asked a question here, Mike. Are Niagara winemakers more competitors or compatriots? Do you lean one way or the other?
Actually, we are more compatriots. We are friends. We
Uh
work
huh.
together. And sure, in certain way, we are competitors out in the marketplace. But end of the day, we do know, we do understand we have to work together. We didn't reach our goal, which is acceptance of Ontario wine all over the world, or especially Ontario, and we have to work together to achieve it. If we fight or if we compete with each other, it doesn't help us.
Right.
We
And
have to,
you're still a relatively small region in the grand scheme of things of world wine. So if you don't work together, I mean, you just don't have as large a voice and the rising tide lifts all the boats, I imagine.
oh, think about it. I mean, Ontario, we have numbers might be off a bit, about 10,000 hectares of vineyards in Ontario,
Okay.
10,000. Now
Wow.
compared to the world, Germany, which is known as a kind of wine region, but not really that big, has about 100,000 hectares.
Which
And
winery is that? Has 100?
Germany,
Germany, okay. And
about
we have, so
100,000.
we have 10% of what Germany
Yeah.
has.
So now
Wow.
go to
Yeah.
France, we're
Right.
talking here about 1 million hectares.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay. So
Go to,
we are a dot.
go to Spain, 1.2 million hectares.
Wow.
So really in a big global thing, in the world, you're right, we're just a little dot on a wall.
Right. So you have to
But
band together. Yes.
we are known all over the world. We can go out there, I mean, little anecdote, little story, we sell a lot of ice wine into Japan, for example. And the first time I went to Japan was many, many years back, and we served our ice wine, and people didn't know, oh my God, where are you from? Where do you make ice wine? Are you from Germany? Are you from Austria? Now, 15, 20 years later, I go back to Japan and to see ice wine. Oh, Canada. You know what a difference it is? When people recognize, when they hear the word ice wine and relate
Yeah.
directly to Canada. I
Yeah.
mean, again, bring it to the Canadian scene here. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a product now here, and to be proud of, we have Canada Day, and ice wine is known in Japan as a Canadian product. 20 years ago, it wasn't done.
That's
So,
fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Okay, so we are already at quarter to the hour. As I thought, it just flew by. So, Klaus, is there where can we find you and your wines online? What's probably your website, I would imagine, if you
yeah.
want to just share that with us.
Yeah, I mean, we have our website, obviously, www.reifwinery, R-E-I-F,
Yeah,
winery.com.
perfect.
And you can see our events, you can do our wines, you can shop our wines as long as you're in Ontario.
Yes. Okay, there you
So,
go. Yes, let's
yeah,
change that, folks. I should put it, I'll
absolutely.
put
Yeah.
a link in for the petition that's going around to get rid of that, the interprovincial trade barriers. But folks, hang on because I've got some more announcements to follow. But Klaus, I want to thank you so much for spending your Sunday evening, part of it with us tonight. This is terrific, great insights. Thank you for sharing those with us and your great wines. We really appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you, Natalie.
Okay.
Always a pleasure.
All right. So good
Yeah.
luck with everything, and
Thank you.
we'll chat again.
Okay, we do.
Okay.
Awesome.
All
Cheers.
right.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Bye. All right, folks. So that was fantastic. Let me go back because I did have, lots of hearts and smiley faces. That's great, guys. So, as I said, if you share the video, this one, I will announce the winner next week. So, you still have a chance. And if you're watching the replay, do that and comment as to why you're sharing it with your friends and followers, because you could win a couple of bottles of Reif Wineries wines and the Vinea, the special grape liqueur that we talked about tonight that would make for an excellent cocktail. Alrighty, let me go back to the Facebook page, and I am going to toggle down because I am trying to remember the name of the person who did the share. She did a really lovely share. She's in Ottawa. She's the winner of a signed copy of John Schreiner's book, Icon, the best wineries from BC's best wines. Now, where is she? There she is. Allison Fader. Allison Fader. Yay, Allison! You're the winner. So, folks, that's fantastic. Next week, we are on vacation for Canada Day. So celebrate with some red, white, and booze. We will be back July 8th. We've got a great lineup of guests. I'm going to post the lineup throughout the summer. I've been booking way ahead now. We've got so much interest, so many guests wanting to be on this show. Fantastic. Those of you who are in the Get Wine Smart course, I'm going over there now to the private Facebook group because we're going to be tasting full-bodied Italian red wines tonight. Yum. And for the rest of you, enjoy your Sunday evening. Thank you so much for being here. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. In the meantime, you can watch some of the replays of the shows you missed to keep you busy. And have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.